potentially those thoughts. A lot of people, it's a very high risk time for suicide. You are at higher risk if you have had an attempt in the past. Please don't keep this to yourself. I did. I almost killed myself several times. Came very close. If there'd been a gun in my house, I would not be sitting here. I would have killed myself. The stuff he would do to me and say to me would just... He was a total stranger. And I missed my husband terribly, terribly missed my husband. Every minute of every day I was missing him. I was obsessed with him. I wasn't following what he was doing, but I was following it up here. Big problem with that. Don't do it. I wasn't thinking. I can stop the thinking. So you gotta get spiritual practice. That's the only thing that's going to save you, because that's why you're having the experience in the first place. Get into a routine. If you're not sleeping at night, and I was not sleeping at night, it's going to get very dark inside you fast. That's when I would get really suicidal. 2 to 3 days of an hour, 2 hours of sleep. You don't function well. It cut off, so painful, because he wouldn't have anything to do with me. Like, what did I do that would make you not want to have any contact with me? I didn't do anything to you. It was so confusing to me. This man who was obsessed and adored me now suddenly doesn't want anything to do with me. Nothing. No phone calls. I'm not allowed to text. I'm not allowed to talk about anything but the divorce by email. I was devastated. And I was craving him. I craved his smell. I would sleep with his shirts. It was a nightmare. It was just awful. It's like, you have a bad dream about your partner, like a jealousy dream, and you wake up and you're like, oh, thank God he wasn't with another woman. That feeling was there all the time. I was dissociated. You're not familiar with that term. It's confusing, but you're in like a tunnel. You go to another place to protect yourself from a trauma that's too painful to face, and apparently it was, because I was in that dissociated state 24/7. I couldn't get out of it. And I was hospitalized once, and I probably should have been hospitalized 2 or 3 other times where I was really bad. And by the grace of God, I didn't end up in bigger trouble than I was in. Didn't end my life, because that's a permanent solution. So spiritual awakening is really, I think, the bottom. To keep it simple, you're suffering because it's going to lead you to a spiritual awakening. And once that happens, then you're going to be grateful for the whole thing. And that is exactly where I'm at right now. I'm still sad. My God, I mean, this is the love of my life. Hurt me in a way that was still incomprehensible to me. It was inhumane, it was sadistic, it was evil. And that doesn't make me feel better. You know what? Nothing would make me feel better. Nothing was going to make me feel better. But finding out he was the problem and not me helped. I mean, I'm not saying I was not a culprit in our relationship problems. I had a lot of issues that I wasn't working on, and staying up at night, dealing with my anxiety in really unhealthy ways. That's another thing. You're going to find yourself craving a replacement for that oxytocin. Don't use drugs, don't drink alcohol, don't do anything that's going to lower your self-esteem in an attempt to remedy your self-esteem. It's just going to backfire, and people die. People will end up dead or in jail. You go out and crash your car because you don't have good judgment right now. So the thing that was advised to me was, I read every book I could get my hands on narcissistic personality disorder until I was completely convinced, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that that's what I was dealing with, and that's just, all bets are off. There's no rules. He wasn't playing by any rules. He had, prior to that, played by the rules. He convinced me he was a rule guy. He wasn't a rule guy. He was a fake, phony. But he'll still tell me, I'm wrong. But I was always wrong. I was no damn good. I was the love of his life for about 3 months, and then I was a shithole, shitbag. Just a piece of meat to fuck, and a bank account. Maybe eye candy in the beginning. But then I got older and tired and heavier, and I wasn't eye candy. And I wasn't going to AA meetings and sitting by his little side Look at Tom. He's got a beautiful wife. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So he put down my business. He made fun of it. He would say things like, "Yeah, good thing you're not going to have an audit. I'd hate to see what they'd find if that ever happened." I'm sure a lot of things are going on over there that the government wouldn't want to know about. Like, what the hell does that mean? How about my wife saves lives every day? How about that? Because I hear that from most people. But my own husband, no, I'm a criminal. Basically, that's what he was saying. They're going to find something criminal, and, you know. And, you know, it was actually funny, because that was part of his setup, his blackmail plan. He had taken pictures of, I would bundle up the cash. I was saving it for the condo, and my annual malpractice was so high. I never had that in the bank. I don't want to save my money for that. But according to him, I had $1 million coming in every month that I was hiding. No, give me a break. I had no money left when he left me. I don't know what he was thinking. He was delusional. But he was delusional. And took pictures of it and bragged about it to the therapist. The first day we were there, it's like, yeah, look at this. This is my wife. What a loser she is. Look at the piece of shit she is. She says, she doesn't claim this money. How do you know I don't claim this money? Of course I claim that money. It goes to my malpractice insurance, stupid. It's on the taxes. I can show you where the cash flow all goes. And he was constantly threatening me with, I'm going to call the IRS. You're going to want to do an audit on your business if you don't do what I say. So I did. I paid him $5,000 out of the 10 he wanted. And he was going to get half my condo that he never paid for. Yada, yada, yada. He was going to get a bunch of other stuff, too. He wanted $25,000 cash and then half the condo and alimony. What an asshole. He was making more money than I was. And he broke me. He really did. So they're going to ask for insane, entitled crap. And it's going to make you nuts because you know you're going to get stuck for some of that, and you got to just let that go. But don't just roll over either. I rolled over at first. That caused me a resentment, like you read about, because I didn't know how rules worked in divorce. I thought you did what they said. I didn't know. I didn't read my divorce. I couldn't pick it up and open it. I would go into such a panic, and I would see the words written on the page that were so horrible to read. I've never read divorce papers before, and the ones that he had written up, I think I probably got through 2 sentences, and I threw up, and I couldn't eat for the next 3 days, and I was so depressed I just wanted to end my pain. So that never got read. I signed it to make him happy. I would have done anything to make him happy. I wanted him home. I wanted him back. Was he doing anything to make me happy? There's the problem, right? And who deserved the other to be to be doing for the other? I mean, he wasn't supporting me. He wasn't being kind. He wasn't helping me with my children. What was he doing? It was toxic poison in my life, and I felt guilty for taking it, the poison. I felt like I was bad because I took the poison. Hello? No, he's a bad guy. Let's just call it what it is. Sorry, Tom, you are a really nasty piece of work, and you're going to cause a lot of harm to a lot of people before you leave the planet, I'm sorry to say, and you're not going to do much good. You did good having children, because I think everybody has that they can claim. Beyond that, you are a harmful element on this planet. However, some of us can take that harm and turn it into a spiritual awakening and reach lofty, lofty goals. That was my goal 30 years ago when I went into AA. That's all I cared about. And it became all I cared about the year before you left, and now it's all I care about now. I don't wish you well, and I don't wish you harm. I don't really care. I hope you get what you deserve and what you need to grow spiritually. But for right now, it wouldn't bother me to see you suffer at all, the way you made me suffer. That would be kind of cool. But I don't need it to happen. I'm not going to make it happen. You're just not that important to me anymore. I don't care. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care who you're with. And I don't care if you're happy or sad. or dad. I'm going on with my life, and I'm going to recommend a couple of videos. Ganja G for pain management saved me from days of despair because of the techniques that I learned from her. You got to do the work. You can't watch it happen to someone else. You have to do it yourself. We're talking 5-minute intervals of doing an activity. You feel the pain come on. This stuff would wash over me like physical agony. Like my chest would hurt physically. My arms, legs, my whole body hurt. I would crumple on the floor. I wouldn't be able to stand because everything just stopped functioning. It was like, I've heard this happens to people that are in a terrorizing situation, like you're about to be eaten by a bear. You lose your bodily functions. I would lose my bodily functions. I wouldn't wet myself, but I would, well, maybe I did. I wouldn't be able to stand up straight. I wouldn't be able to not have an emotional outbreak, a loud one of crying, screaming, wailing, something would come. And I had no control over it in the beginning, for the first month. How do you go grocery shopping? You can't. There were times when I would be clutching my chest, sobbing in the frozen meat section, hoping nobody would come by until I could get a grip, and I would use Ganja G's work. That's what got me out of it. Saved me. So, Ganja G. Muji G. That's my Muji Baba. I don't care what religion you are. These people have some tools that you can use, and they cross all religions. You don't have to follow them and their teachings entirely. I'm not saying that. You may want to. I do. I love them. These are both Western gurus that were enlightened by Papa G, who was a disciple of Ramana Maharishi in the mountain of Ayurveda. And love all of them. I've come to love them all so much. I cry when I chant. When I do my chanting, I cry. And I don't know why. I just have wet face. But it's beautiful. So I've been doing the pointing. Mujiji will point to where you need to go to wake up spiritually. And I kind of would watch people go through the process, but not really taking it so seriously. For me, I would try it and go, oh, it didn't work. See, it's not going to happen for me. Oh, well, you just did 5 seconds of self-inquiry, stupid. I started doing real self-inquiry, the process that he was teaching on every video. When he would do it, I would do it. I'd say, let's stop right there. No, we're not gonna rush over anything. We're gonna take a look. Who's suffering? Go in there. Go inside. Who's suffering? I don't want to talk about the body. So I started really doing this, and boom, wow, amazing things started to happen, and I really started to feel like I was. Right now, I'm not in that place. This is the personality speaking, the ego, mind. It's spacious. It's empty. It's bliss, and that's all there is to it. Simple, and it's your background. It's what's there all the time when your mind isn't working. But that deepens, and it gets deeper, and it goes deeper down into your heart from your head. And anyway, find a hobby. Find something you love to do. I don't care what you find, but you got to do something that doesn't hurt you or make you feel less than. So it can't be porn, okay? It needs to be something that makes you feel good about yourself. Exercise is a good one. You can knock two birds down with one stone there. No TV on a regular basis. Switch over to informational internet such as YouTube, and you can search things, whatever you're into. Fly fishing. Learn something new. Learn a new language. But stay away from mainstream TV. It's scary what they're doing with mainstream TV. I'm not going to even get into all that. Just trust that if you can start looking at something that's intelligent, your mind will be blown and your world will change drastically for the better. I think. I don't want to say for the better. Your world will change, but you'll have something to looking forward to, checking into, or it'll take you down different avenues, like a Pinterest page. You start pinning green butterflies before you know it, you've got Luna moths